Hey, you guys, welcome back to Shared News. Today, we are doing another Bachelor Nation news recap. But before we get into things, if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so we can keep you updated on all things happening in Bachelor Nation. As always, you guys, I'm Renee Ariel, and I'm joined by my work wife, Fiona Saring.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Fiona. Are you shocked that there's still drama going on with Peter's season of The Bachelor?
Oh my goodness. I think I would be more shocked if they just disappeared. I think we
I
will be
know.
talking about the fallout from Peter's season of The Bachelor until the hairs on our head turn gray.
I agree. But before we get into all of that drama with Kelley and Madison and Peter, let's talk about our boy Tyler Cameron, because you guys, we knew this was coming. Okay, we knew it was coming. Like, we knew that Taylor's Loverfest was going to be canceled, but Tyler Cameron went on Instagram Live and confirmed his relationship status. Take a look.
We want to know, are you dating anyone?
Yeah, are you dating anyone?
Nah, I'm not dating nobody.
Do we need a moment? Do we need to sit for a moment in silence? Okay, so yes, Tyler Cameron's single.
And Hannah Brown's single. They both dropped the S word, totally single. The games have come to an end.
Come to an end. I don't know. I mean, you guys, wouldn't it have been weirder if Hannah said she was single a week ago and then Tyler Cameron went on Instagram Live and was like, not me. That would have been weird. We knew this was coming. Am I sad about it? Of course. This is a sad day. I wish that Hannah and Tyler would get back together. But unlike Pete Weber, it turns out Hannah's not going to try to date every single one of her exes after this. Her season ended. So what are your thoughts? Are you sad, or are you like, well, we knew this was coming?
Here's the thing. You and I have talked about this before. For it to work out between Tyler and Hannah right now, it would be extremely complicated. They would be entering into a long distance relationship. They would be entering into a relationship where literally every move they make would be watched and analyzed and followed. And yes, it's fun when you're in a quarantine party house and you're making content for TikTok and none of it feels that serious. But that same kind of pressure on a brand new, actually serious relationship is a lot. So for now, I feel like with all the obstacles they'd be facing and the distance more than anything, and the fact that they are quarantining and they are separate, it's not the right time. Just logistically. Maybe one day. I think they've got great chemistry. I wouldn't be surprised if they both end up living in LA and something blossoms. But for now, I don't feel that sad. I just kind of feel like as much as we think it would be fun, it's probably the right call.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I feel you. But I do want to give shout outs because we have some people in the live chat. Thank you guys for joining. We have Zaylee. Hello, Zaylee. I love you too. We have Sandra. Aww. We have Cheryl. Hi, you guys. Welcome. Are we all Bachelor fanatics here and losing our minds over all of the Peter drama, which we are about to get to because it's a lot to get into. But I do want to start with what's been going on with Madison and the shading. I don't know if you guys saw, but Madison posted a TikTok with a bunch of other girls from Peter's season where they did that new makeup brush trend where they do their makeup with the transition, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. But Madison posted it to her TikTok and used the song I Can Take Ya Man. And if you guys don't know that song, it literally says, I can take your man if I want to, but lucky for you, I don't want to. And I don't know if it was just me reading into things. I'm an overthinker. But when I saw all of Peter's exes dancing along to that song for the trend, I mean, come on. It's a little shady, just a little shady.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people obviously noticed immediately that Kelley wasn't in it. And she's obviously quarantining with Peter, and there's obviously all of these rumors. So it definitely felt like there was an unavoidable sort of underlying message to the video, aside from it just being funny and fun because they all dated the same guy and it's just a cute, funny idea. There seems like there was another layer.
Yeah, especially because Yeah, when people noticed that Kelly wasn't in it, and one person commented saying, "Where's Kelly?" And Maddie responded saying, "With our ex, LOL." I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that's shady. It's shady. It is. Okay, listen, and I know we're all gonna have our own opinions, and I totally get that. Do I think Madison is valid in feeling hurt if she does or being jealous? Totally, because I would probably be too. But nonetheless, in my opinion, that was shade being thrown. So Kelly actually responded to the shade, kind of, by liking a tweet that she unliked very shortly after. So we're just taking sources' word for it. But apparently, she liked a tweet saying, "Haven't all they done is throw shade at Kelly and Peter ever since they were seen together? There comes a point in time where they need to move on and be happy for each other and not bring people down. It's not that hard, people." And like, I get that, because if I were Kelly and I was also one of his exes, I had met him before the show, I thought there was a connection, and then with how events played out, we ended up coming back into each other's paths. I mean, like, don't bully someone for that. Don't be mean. Just like, if it's not your man, it's not your man. And we learned a lot. It took a lot, but we learned Madison is not meant for Peter. Hannah Ann is not meant for Peter. Maybe Kelly is. It's not that I don't have to agree with it, but like, I'm not Kelly, I'm not Peter. Maybe they are meant to be together, you know? So like, throwing shade doesn't really do anything. Let them be.
Right. I think it's a very messy situation. I think if you remove the Bachelor from the equation, you think of real life, like it's such a normal human reaction to be jealous if you see someone dating someone you dated, and then you add all the layers of it's not your ex dating one of his exes, it's your ex. It's so messy. There's like 15,000 exes. You're friends with some of them. Some of the ones you were really close to ended up going. It's just so messy that I think that hopefully it was done in a lighthearted way, which I know Maddie like clarified saying it was just a joke, no shade, all up for both of them. Again, I think we both agree there was some shade. It's just like whether it was even intentional or not, like the situation is so messy, like there was some shade. But
yeah,
if you're just saying
I
it
don't
was a
buy her
joke
answer.
and you've got nothing for love, then like, I don't know. I think that hopefully at this point, if I were on that season, all I could do is just laugh at everything and like have my fun, make my jokes. Like you just gotta like grin and bear it and move on. And, you know,
Totally.
maybe this wasn't the most tasteful way of doing that. But again, I think that if you can't poke fun at the situation they're all in, what the heck are they supposed to do? You know?
I know. And the thing is, I hope it was all in good fun. I just don't think it was, which we'll get to why I don't think it was in our next story. But I do want to bring up one last point because, so Madison said like it was all a joke, no shade, love for both of them, which we later find out she's actually hurt. But Hannah Ann and Kelly are actually still cool, which I find really interesting, and I'll tell you why. She seemed a bit hurt by what happened with Madison. Like, I don't know if you remember when she was going on all those podcasts, the way she talked about it was like, yeah, like we were close. And then now I don't know if I want to get that close to her again. Like she's reached out, but it's just weird. But with Kelly, she literally said she went on a podcast, the Your Favorite Thing podcast, and she said that Kelly and her were good friends on the show and there's no bad blood. And she just talked to her the other day. So to me, that says like they're cool. But obviously Madison has some other feelings, which if you want to let us know what the feels Madison let out were, by all means.
You betcha. So here's the thing. I think Hannah Ann is in a place where she is living her best life. She has moved on. She has made it clear that she is like, her vibe with this whole Peter situation is I dodged a bullet. And she'll basically say that to anybody who asks. She is in a like good riddance stage, which obviously makes sense. So I think at this point for her to see Kelly, someone she was friendly with and genuinely liked, reconnecting with him, it's like the guy you dated in high school all of a sudden dating one of the people who you work with. Like there's enough time that's passed. You're so over it. I think Hannah Ann is just like, whatever. Hopefully they find each other. Maddie, on the other hand, she had a whole different kind of roller coaster ride. And I think that she was hoping that they had something that would maybe actually work, and maybe it wouldn't play out as ugly as it did on live TV and all of those things. So she's not in the same place Hannah Ann is, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm speculating. But she talked to Caitlin Bristow on the Off the Vine podcast, and she said that she and Kelly were best friends on the show. Not just friends, but best friends. She said, quote, "We were inseparable throughout the entire process. Everyone joked that we were the dynamic duo." She also said that she thought that Kelly would be in her wedding. So she made it clear that Kelly to her was not just like a girl she was friendly with. She was like a confidant, best friend, no doubts in her mind about their relationship and where they stood. So with that being said, she revealed to Caitlin that she was hurt by the situation and totally thrown off guard. And the crazy little added layer to all of this is she said, quote, "What was really confusing to me was that 2 days before he was spotted in Chicago, which is when he was first spotted with Kelly, he was calling me and texting me, 'I miss you. Let's get back together.' I think that to me was a little confusing. We definitely handle breakups very differently." So if we're going based on what Maddie said, she and Peter try to give it another shot on national TV. His mother basically says she hates her. And what was it? 15 minutes later, they broke up. So that's kind of an embarrassing thing to go through, whatever. Then you're getting text from him saying, "Hey, I think we should give this another go. I want to get back together." And then he shows up in Chicago with the person you thought was going to be in your wedding that was your best friend throughout the whole season. So obviously she's hurt, which, like we were saying with the earlier video, there's definitely underlying shade there, because if this truly is the situation, how would she not be pissed? Now, again, this is literally just what Maddie's saying. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt. There could be miscommunications. There could be whatever. She also did say that she hasn't spoken to Kelly in a really long time. And she said, "To me, that was the most hurtful thing. We walked through so much together." So it is definitely messy. I don't know.
Here's what I'll say about the Kelly thing. I think that this blame should not be placed on Kelly at all, because maybe they were best friends on the show, but didn't Madison say they haven't talked since the show? And if that's the case and they haven't talked, were they that close after? Or is it a situation like you go to summer camp, meet a really cool friend that you're best friends with at summer camp, but after, because you live far away, you're not going to hang out again until maybe you go back to summer camp? Like, I don't know how much I buy that they were going to be best friends outside of it if they hadn't talked, because it took a while for Kelly to reconnect with Peter. That's my kind of suspicion. And I'm wondering if she's using that because she's upset and she's trying to not look stupid. So instead of looking stupid, she's trying to kind of flip it, being like, "Kelly was my best friend." Peter, he handles breakups because, like, he told me he wanted to get back, which I don't not believe that he texted her that. Peter is another story. However, the way she's wording it is, this is Peter going through a breakup and Kelly was her best friend who backstabbed her. That, without saying that, that's what she's saying. And I feel like I don't love that narrative because I know it's coming from a hurt place and I think her story will be different in a few months when she truly is healed from the situation. But it's like any of us going through breakups. We're petty, we're angry, we're like, well, he's only with her because he's going through a breakup. Like, we don't know that. Peter was just on a show where he dated 30 women at once. It's a different experience. I don't think he makes the best calls when it comes to anything dating-wise, but at the same time, Maddie doesn't know his relationship with Kelly, just like Kelly doesn't really know his relationship with her if they hadn't talked since the show ended.
Right. I think, yeah, I agree. I think there's definitely more to the story. I do believe that they were friends on the show. Like, I think there's no reason to lie about that. But being so close that she saw her not at her wedding, I believe the quote was in her wedding. Like, that is a really, really, really serious level of friendship. So again, that could be some sore feelings talking, and it's never easy to see an ex move on with someone you care about. I think the most hurtful part of the situation, again, like you said, doesn't really stem from Kelly. It stems from the fact that Peter reached out to get back together with her, and then 3 days later it was spotted with another woman, which just keeps, that's just a trend. He's with Hannah Ann, he couldn't make up his mind, boom, he's with Maddie. That's like, it just kind of keeps happening that way. So there's definitely, I think, some meat to how she said he handles breakups in a way that, you know, is different. Let's just use her word and maybe leave it at that. April in the chat says, sorry, what, Renee?
Yeah, I was just going to point out April's comment too. You read it.
Well, April says, Kelly and Peter make the most sense, and I think they know that too. Also, I have to move it. Also, if Chris Harrison would have not went to Madison prior to the final rose, etc., she would have never been part of the end. I completely agree with April. What do you think, Renee?
I totally agree with her, because let me tell you, I think they had another plan up their sleeve at one point, or there was another reason that Kelly was there. And I'm guessing it had to do with the fact that Peter had said to producers, if I had to guess, being a producer myself, Peter probably said to a producer at one point, oh, Kelly and I bumped into each other, and like, I'm wondering if this is like fate. Like, I kind of want to maybe reach out to her, talk to her. And he only said that. And then they were going to bring her on to see if Peter did anything live in action. But somewhere in between that, I think the Madison thing got too complicated. That's my guess. Because otherwise, I don't know why she'd be there if something was kind of happening with them beforehand. But then Chris Harrison involved himself with the Madison thing. They were setting themselves up for disaster.
They were, because if you think about it, I mean, how many times did they promo it? Not even we know what's going to happen. They didn't have an ending, right? And for a lot of the season, everybody rooted for Maddie. And what happened in Australia obviously happened, but by the time present day came, it was time for after the final rose. Like, people needed answers. People needed an ending.
Yeah.
It was a mess. So the ending that probably made the most sense is like a Hail Mary was, let's get Maddie back in here. People wanted it to work out. You know, we'll just give it a shot. Right. And so, like, it from the beginning, I think it was mainly about trying to save something that was so far gone and just couldn't work. You know what I mean? Like, throwing Maddie on live TV with him after that finale, what was going to happen? Was he going to get down on one knee? Like, it wasn't going to be that Bachelor fairy tale ending. It just couldn't happen this season. It just wasn't possible.
I know. And like, we'll wait and see what happens, obviously, with Kelly and Peter. I'm so shocked that they're still quarantining together, but we'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, that wraps up pretty much everything we have to chat about today. But do you guys have any questions or thoughts on anything going on with the Bachelor Nation stories? I do want to read some of your comments. Hi, Kyla, Camille, Lucy, Winter, Julie, Caitlin. Oh, thank you. Caitlin said she watches us all the time. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Aww.
Oh, did we hear about Victoria F and Chad Souls doing crystals?
Yes.
Yes, that.
Yes, she means Chris.
You guys, if you watch any of my thoughts on Victoria for our Bachelor after show, you will know I'm just, good for her. They found love. I want a story though. I want to know how it happened, Hi, Michaela. We love you too. Winter says she never trusted Madison.
That's interesting. A lot of people sort of like it seemed as though when the show was on, here's the thing. If you really think about it, who did people love? Who did people like really like? Kelly. Everyone was like, she's smart. They have this connection. They know each other from outside the show. We love Kelly. And then it kind of was like, oh, Kelly's too smart for him, but we still love Kelly. So we want her to stay around. We want it to keep working out. Hannah Ann was a front runner from day one, like mixed emotions. Not everyone loved her. Some people didn't like her, but she was a day one front runner. And so was Madison. So it's like, it's so funny to me that we're still talking about this and it's still these three girls. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
Bachelor Nation kind of called it from day one.
I wonder, though, if Peter was at all influenced by Bachelor Nation's reaction to Kelly, because obviously he didn't know that America would fall in love with her, but we all were like, Kelly, for like the last several months. We were like, we love you. So I wonder if that at all made him be like, whoa, whoa, did I mess up? Let's
Maybe.
see. The whole season was a mess. I was really looking forward to Claire's season, so hoping they do it and cast more appropriate age men. Nancy, I totally agree with you.
Too.
I do believe they're recasting. That was what actually the head of ABC's alternate programming, I think that's his position, he was saying that that was a benefit to this quarantine because they apparently casted Claire's season super last minute because she was the last person they met with. So I think that they were casting guys that just seemed like stand-up guys, not considering the fact that they may have a bachelorette that's 38 years old and that maybe they should be casting guys that are more mature and closer to her age. Yeah, you guys, I think that wraps it up. Thank you for hanging out with us again. We will be back doing more things just like this. So if you want to keep up with all of our Bachelor recaps, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell because I'm guessing there's a lot more to talk about. Just probably in the next few days, more will happen and we will be talking about it right here. But before we go, as always, I'm your host, Renee Ariel. You can follow me on socials at Renee Ariel.
And I'm Fiona Zaring. You can follow me on socials at Fiona Zaring.
And we'll see you